Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. We kick off the program just after 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday trading. And boy, we got quite an acceleration in the markets. S&Ps, as I come to you, how about 7,014? We're up by 0.75%. That's a record close if we finish where we are right now. S&P's up by 52 points at 7,014. We'll get into the volume in a moment. NASDAQ 100, we're coming back up to where we were the highs of Wednesday, right near 26,000. We're up by 1.1%. For the growth stocks, up 280 points, 25,968. We're about 430 points away from all-time highs in the NASDAQ 100. Dow, there's your all-time highs on Wednesday, 49,876. Today, we're up 0.5%, up 239 points, 49,729. And the Russell, up by 0.6% right now, up 16 points at 2634. We'll go over the jobs numbers this morning that we got for December. We added 50,000 jobs. The unemployment was 4.4%. Those are the headlines. And the market takes that and says, you know what, maybe we're not getting as many cuts as we maybe even anticipated. But the odds we get one this month, not happening. The 10-year right now at 4.17%. We were as high as 4.2 this morning. You got a little bit of sticky high yield. That's given the dollar a bit of a bid this week. The dollar's at 99.13 right now, and metals are holding up so well with a strong dollar. Dollar's back to 99 and change. You got gold up $50, 49 to be exact, at 45.09. Silver up by 6.3%. Excuse me, up $4.72, nearing $80. Take a look at the volume on silver. Yeah, we're probably going to beat what we did yesterday, but that was a big sell-off. From the highs of 82.58, you got within 10 pennies of the highs when we sold off December 29th. And as I've been talking about on these metals, man, you know, silver, we had a real acceleration up to $80, but over that, you're going to need some volume. We're coming into it today with decent volume. You have the run-up to the highs of October, decent volume here as well. You put this on a weekly, and look at that volume in October, okay? Now, you've been putting up nice numbers, but nothing like that beautiful acceleration. It was August, September. You finished it out in the middle of October, and every week you were doing it on more volume. Now, you had some real nice acceleration here as well, but nothing that matched this. You know, you had a nice volume spike the week of December 8th, 613,000 contracts. Then you rip lower. Look how you got higher. Up to $80 on lighter volume. You rip lower, but look at this week, man. Boy, you know, this is going to be remarkable, man. Silver catches a bid here at the end of the day. We're already up $5. Friday's in the metal market, and you're going to do more volume. It was a New Year's Day. That was 4 trading days, you got to remember as well. So that was a big rip lower, man. And it was led off, of course, by last Monday. There was a lot of the volume. So there is some pressure as we get up to these levels as we've seen, but silver looking strong. You look at gold, okay? There's your October acceleration on gold up to 43.92. But since then, the volume's dropped off. This week is going to be a decent week, but all things considered, nothing like the ramp up we saw. I mean, from September 22nd, you did almost 1.2 million contracts a week, and then you did 1.3, 1.7, and 1.9. And now we're doing 952,000 contracts, right? Half of that contract volume. So not exactly the acceleration that led us up on that first acceleration, as we're over those levels on a little bit lighter volume. All right, let's jump over to the jobs numbers. So, yeah, we got an hour left to go, and we have Trump meeting with oil executives at the White House on Venezuela. You jump over to crude, so get ready for the final 60 minutes. Crude's caught a bid, man. Look at this run. So from yesterday with a 55 handle, we just almost hit $60. Crude's up 2.1% at 58.99. And you take a look at this, man. We might be breaking out to the upside. You're going to have some volume today. You're coming into, look at the highs of 264, that first sell-off. You have volume here at the lows of 352. We've done 312 so far. Crude looks like it's catching a bid right now. You're breaking away from this channel line. That's your daily. You put it on a weekly. It's a nice sign of strength. I mean, look at this. That's going to be the most volume we've traded on a week of crude. And hey, it's not often that the Venezuelan dictator gets captured by the SEALs, right? As in volatility volume, but that's the most volume we've had on an up week in crude, just period, outside of that October 20th acceleration where there was strength as well, right from the same area, going all the way back to June. So it's a big week. You're catching a bid. That's a nice sign of strength. That's what you want. You step into an equity, a nice sign of strength. All right, speaking of signs of strength, I talked about it at the top. Lennar, listen, if you're thinking about getting into these equities, I wouldn't wait for a pullback right now. You can scale into them, okay, if you're looking for a trade, right? You have Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac now. They're going to be employing $200 billion worth of money, cash on their books, basically, to buy mortgage-backed securities. That's going to put a bid in the 10-year, essentially, which is what those indices, which the mortgage securities are based off of. Now, that market hasn't reacted yet, though. You'd think that you hear that news, Trump's going to pull the levers, try and stimulate mortgage-backed securities, put a demand bid in there. That's going to be higher price, lower yield, but that hasn't happened yet in yields. But boy, these home builders on a weekly basis, the volume could be more impressive, okay? You're comparing it to the 2 holiday weeks here. But on a daily basis, I like this run up, right? You pull back, and I focus on Lennar, which looks the strongest right now. Okay? On a daily basis on Lennar, you got this huge sign of strength. We had buyers coming in this market, man. Same price we're at right now. They just got ahead of themselves. Okay, November 18th, you accelerate from 112 all the way up to 132, but look at the volume. Huge days of volume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different days that dwarfed anything else we saw, and then most of that decline took place in a very low volume environment. And now what's happening? We're ramping back up, and today will be a big volume number on the close. We're above this acceleration on their earnings now, and it's not stopping. Check out D.R. Horton, up by 7% today as well. Look at this sign of strength on the weekly for them. You're coming into this bar right here, October 6th, the pullback. But again, look at this strength. You get this breakout, and that's right where you come back into. You come into the area where we're at the November low before the acceleration. The volume's not as pronounced, though. You look at D.R. Horton, but that buy-in in Lennar back there, I like that. Okay, that's somebody stepping into this market. You're talking about 83 million shares and 45 million shares. Some weeks you were doing 15. 83 and 45 to the upside. You didn't get that type of selling on the downside, and you're up by 8.2% today. KB Homes. We'll finish it up on the backside of this break, up by 7% as well. Markets in the green. Come right back, folks.